Stanley Park was essentially my playground growing up. When I was 4 years old, it was a treat. We'd walk through the rose garden, see the dinosaur tracks. You know, it was the place you hung out when I was, 10, 11, 12. I met my husband at Stanley Park. I was 12 years old, and then he's the only guy I ever dated, and I wound up marrying him. The park's been a big part of my life.
Stanley Park has been here since 1949. And if you've lived around Westfield long enough, chances are some of your oldest memories start at the park.
Having the park as my backyard was one thing I'll never forget.
Fooling around down by the frog pond, maybe collecting tadpoles.
We had so much freedom. And you never had to worry if you were up in the park because there was always somebody around working, and they were like family.
When you've always had a park nearby, it's easy to forget how rare this kind of space is. A place where you can just show up and be surrounded by friends, neighbors, or whoever else happened to have the same idea. No tickets, no reservations, just you, a spot in the grass, and maybe a sandwich if you planned ahead. It's no accident that Stanley Park has become such an important place in so many people's lives. That's just what the park was meant to be. A gift from the park's founder that would be here for generations to come. If you've ever wondered where Stanley Park got its name, that'd be from Frank Stanley Beveridge, entrepreneur, would-be horticulturalist, and a grandfather who went by many names.
Well, we called him Major. The Caswell kids called him Major because he was a major in the Army Reserves.
And what Frank Stanley Beveridge really loved was being in his garden.
I remember him coming home, and he had this very peaceful look about him when he was in his garden. Instead of going into the house, he would go to his garden first.
That deep connection to nature is part of what inspired Stanley Park, and the reason why Beveridge decided to settle in Westfield in the first place.
Every bridge going into Westfield had flowers on them.
Beveridge started Stanley Home Products in 1931. And for folks in Westfield at the time, getting hired there was kind of a big deal.
If you worked at Stanley Home Products at the corporate office, everybody around town just thought, oh my, how are you so special to be able to get in there? The door there had a sign over it, door of opportunity.
It was like a pledge that Beveridge made to his employees, who he called associates, that he would provide all the tools they needed to succeed.
The success of the company was our success.
As integral to the community as Stanley Home Products was, people don't always make the connection between Frank Stanley Beveridge and the park that bears his name.
We wouldn't have had the park if it wasn't for Mr. Beveridge, but they don't know that.
Likewise, people don't always know that the park isn't paid for by their tax dollars. And that matters when you think about the long-term future of maintaining a free 300-acre community space. But when Ward Caswell, Beveridge's great-grandson, became a trustee of the park, he realized they had a funding problem.
The difficulty that we had, and still sometimes have, in fundraising for Stanley Park is that a lot of people don't know that it is a private park. It is not owned by any government entity. And in fact, Frank Stanley Beveridge was adamant that it was important that the park not take government funding. The park shouldn't be taking money from the community. The park should be giving things to the community.
If you look at how we fund the park between the Beveridge Family Foundation and our own endowment, that brings about 75% of our funding to the park. And the other 25 to 30% is where the donors become very important to us.
In a park that sprawls over 300 acres, everyone has their favorite spot.
I've been coming to the park for over 25 years, and I love the garden where the fountains are. As a matter of fact, I got married there.
The Carillon Tower, the event pavilion, the duck pond, the covered bridge, the rose gardens.
go down the wildlife sanctuary.
Oh, and the concerts. The concerts are great.
Everything is beautiful. The walks, the trails, it's wonderful.
I used to come here when I was pregnant, and when she was born, I brought her here when she was little to see the dog.
This is our favorite park. We've loved the beauty of it. We come every day. Everyone enjoys it differently, but yet we're all together.
Some spots seem to stick out a lot more in people's memories.
In this gnarly old oak tree.
When I would go walking in the park with my grandfather, very often if you'd reach up into the crotch of the tree, there'd be a coin.
Back in the day, they used to put money in it.
I went to Westfield State College many moons ago, and I used to come over here and study in Stanley Park. I'm visiting this week, and I had to come visit my park.
I might have the weight of a mountain in my bag, but the minute I enter the park, the trees, the grass, different flowers, different colors. I mean, everything about the park is beautiful.
Every walk, picnic, and photo taken here adds to the legacy. But keeping it going takes the kind of lasting support Beveridge believed in.
Think long term. Think about your own planned giving, how you want things to be handled when your time on this planet is gone. And there's ways that you can give to the park in perpetuity the way Frank Stanley Beveridge did.
Because what you're really giving is a feeling, one that hits the moment you step inside the park.
There's no way that anybody would come into the park and not feel tranquility. Mr. Beveridge must be looking down at us and just smiling. Let me get teary.
I walked in Stanley Park this morning, as I do almost every morning. The park was beautiful, and has been beautiful throughout a long fall. Together we are building in the park something of true beauty. Just as in Stanley, we are building a company that will always be a benefit and a blessing to all who are associated with it. And I want to thank every one of you for your personal contribution towards the continual growth of Stanley. We need to work harder than ever. With your help, Stanley will continue to grow and accomplish even greater things in the years ahead.